Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and create some abstract shapes to add some visual interest to these letters. So let's go ahead and say File New, and we'll start with a 1500 by 1500 at 150 resolution. Background color can be white, and let's hit OK. So now let's create a new layer, and we'll make sure to hit D on the keyboard for our default black and white colors. And if we hit U, it's going to bring up our shape layers. So we'll go to our line, and up here in the attributes, let's just check, instead of shape, let's go to pixels. Alright, so right now we're at 1 pixel, and I'll just start drawing some vertical lines, something like this. And to get a fatter line, all we have to do is use our bracket keys on the keyboard. So I'm just tapping that once, and now I have a 2 pixel line, something like that. And maybe I want a 3 pixel line, so I'll make it a little bit fatter. There we go. And I'll come back down to 1. Something like that. Alright, so there's shape 1. Let's go ahead and create another shape. So again, I'll hit U on my keyboard, and maybe I start with like a 1-point line. Here's a 3-point line. And maybe I want a few dots, so I'll hit B on the keyboard, bring this all the way down. Maybe there's a few dots in here. Alright, so there's our second shape. So let's create a new one. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and hit L on the keyboard, which brings up our lasso selection, polygon lasso selection. And I'm going to go ahead and create some sort of angular looking shape. Now I'm going to hit B on the keyboard, and I'm going to select some sort of brush from here. Maybe it's something like this. You just kind of fill this thing in a little bit. So there's our third shape. So right now, just have some fun with this. So I'm going to hit L on the keyboard again and make some sort of weird arrow. Something like this. Hit B on the keyboard again. And maybe I could choose some other kind of brush here. And just sort of start painting this in. So there's another shape. And just continue making these shapes. So here's L on the keyboard again, and creating a different abstract shape. Hit B on the keyboard, and maybe this is a different type of brush. Let's see what this one looks like. That's kind of cool. So just go ahead and paint this thing in. Just trying to have some fun with this, create some weird shapes. Maybe I can add some lines to this. I'll start with like a 1 pixel line. So just get in here and create some weird shapes that you could toss on top of your text. And you can go back in here, mask this out, hit B on the keyboard. If you wanted to select some sort of soft brush, you can make this thing kind of fade out at the edges if you wanted, something like that. So maybe there's another one. Okay, let's create one more. So L on the keyboard, or maybe we can even start this one off with like some circular type of elements. So let's fill that in, and then we'll duplicate this a few times. And show transform controls, holding down Option and Shift, making this one smaller. Double click to apply that, and then I'll just scale this one down as well. Apply, get rid of these transform controls. Just start having fun with some of this stuff. Get in here and start playing around with all these drawing tools, see what kind of shapes you can come up with, and have fun with this. So now I'm going to take all these and merge these together. So now that's one shape. So really quickly you can create all these abstract shapes that you can start adding to your scene. Alright, here's a few that I created, so I'll just walk you through these real quick. And now we're going to start adding these. Here's a look at some of the ones that I created. Use different types of brushes to get this kind of look. Created some arrows, some pencil looking brushes, whatever. So just get in there, have some fun, create some cool shapes.